And we can now cross over live to Germany for some of the manager reactions to this European Cup draw. And we can leave you with Sandy Simpson. Hello, David.
Hi,
How
Sandy.
are you doing there?
Yes, very well. Good to see you again.
Cool. So, what's your thoughts on the draw tonight? Obviously, your own team's draw and everyone else in general.
Well, we were quite excited and nervous when we were pulled out as the first team in the draw. Last year we did quite well. We got to the semi-finals. We went out to fellow Master League opposition, so we're glad that you can't draw a Master League team in the first 16. So we, Valencia, of course, they're an excellent team, but then again, you're in Europe. Everyone's going to be good opposition. Let's just say we're glad to have avoided certain teams, Inter Milan, for example, Barcelona. But Valencia, they've got a big crowd. We're just glad that we're not going to the Mestalla and we're playing at Maximal Park. We believe we can beat anyone there. So from our own point of view, happy with the draw, yeah.
Do you think the home advantage is the big thing to look for in the actual draw? Do you think that's like the win or lose, make or break kind of thing for the European Championship?
It's obviously teams would prefer to play at home. You've got your support. You'll always get a good turnout from the locals. So of course, for teams, let's say the ones who've got to go to the likes of Zenit, that's extremely far. And it's going to be a hostile atmosphere. So we're just glad that as I've said, it's at Maximal Park. And yes, everyone wanted to be drawn at home. We're lucky. We didn't know who we were going to be playing, but when we were drawn out first, I was just thinking, well, let's put on a good show at Maximal Park.
Excellent. Well, you just quickly, you've said previously in other interviews that you put the European Championship as one of your main targets for this season, and you obviously had a very good run in it last year. Do you think you're half of the draw? Obviously, you've got quite a lot in your half. Like you've got other Master League opposition in Alemannia Aachen, and you've also got Barcelona in there as well. Do you think it will give you a bumpy road, or do you feel quite confident about your chances to reach the semi-final stage and the final?
I think actually the way that the cup is drawn, it's actually came out quite even on both sides. So I certainly wouldn't be complaining in the half that we're in. But in the other half, there's tough teams. Let's just say Inter Milan and Barcelona, they've both been drawn in two different sides. We're in the same half as Alemannia, who put us out last year. So it looks like we could possibly meet them in the semis again if that happens.
Look forward to that match if it does come on.
Yes, well, hopefully it'll be a different outcome from that point of view next year. But yeah, so really excited and glad that we know who we're playing now.
Excellent. Well, thanks very much for your time there, David.
Nice, Andy. Thanks.
Cheers.
We can catch up with Alan Martin, Alemannia Aachen manager. He's going to give us his reaction to the European Cup draw. Over to you, Jimmy. Alan, how you doing?
Not bad, how are you?
I'm very well, thanks. It's a chilly night here, but how do you feel about that draw? It's a big match.
Yeah, it's going to be a real good start to the competition. Up against a team of the calibre of Barcelona. Obviously, we're not able to be drawn against other Master League oppositions, so this is about as good as it gets outside the Master League teams. And obviously, I do have a lot of confidence on my side. I think we've got the continental side of the game down. Obviously, we emerged victorious from the competition last year, and we want to be able to retain that. I think our half of the draw in general is going to be quite competitive, but there should be some really good matches there, and we hope to entertain the fans and we get some good results out of it.
Is there any games that you're looking at the moment? Is it purely the Barcelona tie, or are you looking forward to possibly a semi-final encounter again with Olympic Diving Dave?
Well, obviously we take each game individually at a time. I mean, we never look beyond that game and the run-up to it, but we always want to remain focused on what do we have at hand. But obviously we've got a wee look at the other teams in our half of the draw. I mean, hypothetically, we could be up against Olympic Diving Dave again, who we obviously met in the semi-finals last year, and who obviously they beat us in the league already this season. So I mean, those ties can go either way, but it's at the moment it's just I'll focus on the Barcelona match. We'll do our homework on their players and their strategies, and hopefully, like as I say, I think we've got a good idea of the way the continental teams play. So I'm quite confident in the Barcelona match, and we'll stick to that and we'll work on that just now.
There's been a few faces in and out at your side, Alan, since the last time you won the trophy. Are you going to win it again?
I reckon so. I reckon that the ins and outs have been only for the sake of improving the team. It's good to see some of our players that we've said goodbye to over the last season have actually made it into other teams in Europe. Obviously, we've got players like Miroslav Klose playing for us in St. Petersburg now, who have been drawn in, and we wish him all the best. But all I can say is, as much as he was a great player. And we now head back over to Germany, where we rejoin Sandy Simpson as he talks to some more managers. Right now he's with German beer shop manager Blair McTague. Hello Blair, how are you doing tonight?
Good, thanks. Andy, how's yourself?
Not bad, thank you. So just to talk a wee bit about the draw tonight, obviously you're one of the teams with the short straw, being drawn away from home, and not only that, but also against one of the more favoured teams, one of the ones that pundits have described as being really difficult to beat, and that team is Inter Milan. How do you feel about that draw?
Excited. You know, we've never played Inter Milan before. Never been to San Siro before, so we're looking forward to that. Obviously, we would have preferred the match at Gasperi Square, but you know, you can't have it all your own way when it comes to these kind of draws. So no, we're excited about it. We're looking forward to it, and hopefully we can get a lot of travelling support over and take over a good crowd, so we can compete with them in the sing-songs.
Mm-hmm. Well, you had an excellent run in the Cup last year. Obviously, you reached the final and came as runners-up. How do you feel that your game compared week in, week out against the Master League teams? How do you think that style of play compares to the European opposition?
Well, I mean, I like to think of the Master League as the best league in the world. You know, with the players that we've got there, with the amount of people that have got to the past European Cup semi-finals, finals. You know, I feel that the Master League is dominating. So, you know, obviously playing against teams in that week in, week out, I feel prepares us really well, strengthens our chances of going on and hopefully taking a good run, solid run in the European Cup and getting hopefully to the final again with a different outcome.
Mm-hmm. Well, you've managed to avoid in the draw being drawn in the same half as your league challengers, Olympic Diving Dave, so you won't have the chance of meeting each other until the final potentially. How do you think that will affect your chances with the half of the draw that you've ended up in? Do you feel quite confident against other teams with the likes of Mold, Juventus, Porto?
Oh, I mean, we have managed to avoid Olympic Diving Dave, you know, Almanac and Barcelona, but we do have some tremendous teams that are in our half as well, such as Inter Milan. Terribly tough to draw first round.
Yeah, it's a baptism of fire that in your first game.
I know. We've also got a Dens Bowl club and like you're saying, the likes of Mould in there as well, which caused us a wee bit of trouble last year. But no, fairly confident, very happy. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't happy that we never drew in the same half, or possibly even the next round is odd. So you know, very happy about that. So we'll see what it brings.
Great. So you say you were quite confident about this year then? Fancy your chances?
Definitely, you know, I mean, I would be here, and I would be in charge of them to be a shot if I wasn't.
Excellent. Well, thanks very much for your time, Blair.
Nice.
Cheers.